Hello there. In the book Skillish People, I write that you are never too old or too young to start doing habits and activities that your future self will thank you for. So that's what I'm talking about today. 3 things that I wish I'd started doing earlier in my adult life. The first one is flossing. Flossing only came on the scene recently, so here we go. I can't do it. I used to be able to do it. Even the kids, I tried to get them to show me how to do it over the last couple of days, and they also can't do it. So I'll just stick to big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Also not brain flossing, which I used to try and do as a kid, which was pretty lunatic. Dental flossing is what I'm talking about. So when I was younger, I lived in the Middle East and in East Africa and drank 2 or 3 fizzy drinks a day, which are basically just acidic sugar, which break your teeth down, as well as lots of other sweets. I'm a savoury person, but I obviously still have quite a sweet tooth. And as a result of that, and lots of pretty brutal dental work, my teeth were a bit of a mess. So I got a couple of gaps, I got a bit of bling in a gold tooth, and apart from that, my teeth look like some ancient graveyard. But for the last 6 months or so, I've had a very good streak going of flossing every night, as well as using my electric toothbrush to brush every part of every tooth. And my teeth are better than they've ever been. In the old days, I would have liked to have flossed more, but my teeth felt too close together. And when I did floss, it made my gums bleed, which I think is probably because I wasn't flossing. My teeth were too close together and my gums bled. So it was a bit of a catch-22 tooth situation. But anyway, flossing now and brushing properly. There's a debate in my cousin group about whether you should floss first and then brush your teeth, or brush your teeth and then floss. I am of the opinion that if you brush your teeth and then floss, you're a lunatic. So don't do that. The second one is eating better. So as well as all those sweets and sweet drinks, I used to not do much cooking. When I first moved to London, we lived next door to a place called Pizza World, Curry World, and they had very good deals on. So 6 nights a week, I had a pizza for supper, and the other night I had a curry. As well as that, petrol stations and supermarkets seem to be full of plastic-covered, ultra-processed rubbish, and they're always asking us to eat that stuff. The internet has, and social media has, a lot of sites of people who show you all the stuff that's actually in the things that we eat every day. There's a good one on Instagram called The Science Snitch, and she'll pour how much sugar there is, how little nutritional anything there is in some of the stuff that we eat every day. So it's definitely worth looking at that. It's better off just trying to eat a well-balanced diet. So all of the diet fads say that we should be eating more protein, or we should be eating more fiber and less sugars and less this and that. And, we need to eat a bit of everything. Well-balanced diet. Eating less fast food, less takeaways, less treats and less snacks, smaller portions when we do, and just a bit of everything is the way to go. Cook it at home, and that's the best thing for you. Occasionally, eating an unhealthy option is also good for your health, your mental health, and just for your enjoyment in life. So I do still occasionally smash a cream egg and probably a Big Mac once a year, and that's plenty. Don't want to do much more than that. So the third thing is tapping into my creativity, which from the age of 13 to about 30, I didn't do at all. Before that, my mum's got loads of old exercise books because she never throws anything away, and they were full of doodles and drawings and stories and pictures. So I obviously used to do that as a kid, but didn't do any of it in my early adulthood. When I was about 30, I was lucky enough to be asked to do a couple of best man speeches, and they went down very well. I enjoyed doing them, and they were pretty funny, or so I thought, which got me into trying to do a couple of open mics, stand-up comedy. And during my time in London, I probably did 25-minute sets, which all went down really well, or most of them went down really well. I wouldn't say all of them. Some of them were pretty dreadful. But they were amusing and enjoyable to do and taught me that I could do that sort of thing. I carried a notebook round and just wrote down all my crazy thoughts. So after that, though, we moved to the countryside in Northern Ireland, and there were no mics to be done. The only open mic around here was a guy called Michael down the pub who would never shut up. So I decided to get into writing a little bit more, and one of the podcasters I listened to said a good way to do writing is to set aside 1 hour 5 times a week, and that should give you a fair bit of time to actually get something done. And it's quite easy to find 5 hours a week to do if you're trying to look for something like that, and that allows you to get into flow, and sometimes those hours would go on for 3 or 4 hours. And I've written 2 books before Skillish People that haven't gone anywhere, haven't read them in years. One was called Calamity James, and it was about somebody living in London in the early noughties trying to find love in all the wrong places. Had some funny bits in it, and but turned out to be way too long and completely unpublishable. The second one was called Bad Gamesmanship, and it was a life story of somebody, but every chapter was a different game that they were playing or were involved in, or that it was game-like. So it's quite an interesting idea, but nothing came with that either. And then obviously Skillish People has been using up all of my creative juices for the last 6 years or so, including doing drawings for it, which I've really enjoyed doing, and it's definitely opened up a new part of me, which is great, and we look forward to seeing where it goes next. So that's it. It is flossing, not the dance move or the brain flossing, but flossing your teeth, eating a well-balanced diet and not eating too much rubbish, and tapping into your creativity and using your imagination, which I think are very important things to do. So you're never too old of a dog to learn a new trick. Skillish People is all about developing and practicing and improving on the tricks that we do every day to be more efficient and effective in life, as well as never stop learning new tricks along the way, which will make life interesting as well. So that is that. Hopefully that is something that you find interesting. If you'd like to hear more about Skillish People, then please go to skillishpeople.com and sign up. You'll hear a bit more about the book, as well as following me on here and also on Instagram. Thank you very much. See you again. Bye-bye.